I had the pleasure of playing Diibu myself this week, and you know, they're very solid. I think their layer 1 is super solid. If you let them run away with their stuff, and if you don't have, you know, answers to Anji gameplay, they're gonna just shred you apart very fast. They're, you know, they know what they want to do, and they're here to do it.
But immediately we're seeing those really nice low Faust pokes, the 2P to 2K being used to just control space quite a bit here from Raidknackarn. They're very non-committal, they're quite safe, solid overhead approach into the command grab now with the Afro. Yeah, Raidknackarn gets a good return off of it. And I think the skills.
Yeah.
What a clean first round.
This is the first Faust plays that we're gonna get to see for Season 2 on Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, Faust, everyone is saying, you know, Faust didn't get, like, the love necessary to bring him to the power that he saw in the older titles, but Faust players I've seen have definitely been happy with how the character has changed, saying it's a lot more playable, a lot more fun to play, doesn't just feel bad to try and do stuff and get stuffed out.
Yeah, I guess when you start with so little, you're happy with just about anything. Ooh, another big counter hit, too heavy. Coast to coast as well without meter.
Oh yeah, the new changes to Mix have made it a lot more consistent to do these kind of wall carries around, because you can be fairly certain of where you're gonna end up off of the bounces.
Yeah, that's a big change. You want one of your, you know, BMB tools. Wow, the item was actually good, comboing into the hammer, dealing massive damage out of that 6P. Raidknackarn gets the first match.
Ah well, you know, being a little lucky is part of the skill of playing Faust. That's definitely an element.
It is certainly a little scary to run at Faust if they already got their item toss off. You're gonna be able to react pretty fast, not just as the Faust player, but also as the opponent player. What's gonna come out of that bag?
Solid playing the range with Anji, going a lot for that overhead, which is, you know, 20 something frames, so it's definitely reactable. So if your opponent is paying attention here, you're gonna get caught a lot. Oh no, but as I say that, Raidknackarn is actually blocking overhead after the Fujin, expecting the overhead follow-up once again, and Diibu just cashes in, getting a combo off of the low.
Yeah, speaking of the overhead, it is so fast now that you won't actually be able to go. Oh, but wait a second! Diibu dropping a massive combo.
Yeah, the two. I always struggle to differentiate Anji 2H and 5H. They're quite similar moves. That was a 5H, I'm fairly sure. Into the ground bounce combo, that could have been really even more devastating. Now, Diibu equaling it out swiftly. Both players winning without dropping a round in their respective games. So, an immediately strong start, and interesting to see how they adapt to one another.
Yeah, despite these Season 2 changes, Anji still is a character who, if they do something, they do damage. It's like, Anji has a lot of firepower still. Speaking of, Raidknackarn finding that burst, trying to get out of that difficult situation, especially
getting
in the corner.
Meteors, getting a cross of meteors, actually, timing it properly and catching Diibu. But,
ooh, nice
Diibu now should get a solid conversion off of this. Yeah. A decent bit of Anji damage.
Plus frames into a throw, yeah.
Plus frames with the Kara cancel especially.
Yeah, I think they
takes a swift round.
Yeah, I think they increased the plus frames that you get from Shin now, right?
I'm not even sure, honestly. All of the Anji changes kind of didn't mean a lot to me. I don't know the names of all the moves very well. As a non-Japanese speaker. But oh, solid hit on the overhead, Roman canceling especially. Oh, unfortunate drop. I was about to say, especially now since Red Roman cancel doesn't scale your combos. It can be a really good option to get these nice extensions off of just straight hit RRC.
Yeah, speaking of that, that changed really. Oh, nice 6P into the combo. But yeah, that really kind of changed the meta game with how you RC into damage, because I think a lot of characters before used like fast RCs or purple RCs to avoid the, you know, RC explosion damage. Now a lot of characters just go for the red Roman cancel by default and you know,
I think it's just the best thing to go for at this point, especially since it makes comboing afterwards a lot simpler, since the red Roman cancel explosion does go quite high up. Look at this! Look at this risk that had been built up. Raidknackarn did not want to deal with that and immediately went for the first solid grab off of the hop. I'm getting stuffed after the tech by the 5B. Raidknackarn is still stuck in the corner against Anji.
Yeah, Diibu's super active with the dancing. If you can't get like a read on when he wants to use that move, he's oh nice.
Was that traded?
I think yeah, with the increased hurt box of the Afro, it actually ended up trading. I was thinking that you might actually straight up lose though with Afro on. Another really good spin into a throw.
That is interesting. Diibu seemed to fuzzy jump while the Afro was on fire and managed to trigger the explosion on their descent. I do wonder if that was actually advantageous for them to get a hit there instead of waiting out the explosion rounded, taking the guard crush.
I guess all is normal in the land of Anjis. Whipping that core still, unless you're like directly below Anji, it's still a lot of the times gonna give you a pretty nice angle to jump in, and people taking advantage of that.
It's really hard to punish Ko when it's properly spaced. It's a very dangerous tool to deal with, and it recovers fast enough, and you can go into jumping normals fast enough from it that you can actually cover a lot of the approaches that people will try to do at you.
Yeah, I think unless I'm standing under the... Ooh! Oh, is it gonna...
Low slash? The Afro and the bomb comboing with one another. Unfortunately, Raidknackarn not being able to combo off of the Afro explosion afterwards.
And a really brave defensive 2S from Diibu gets them out of the corner now. Pushing Raidknackarn in the other corner and gets the round. Wow! Yeah, so fast does the momentum turn when Anji actually gets to run stuff on you.
Oh, that 6-speed beating. Wow. Unfortunately, Faustmane's in shambles did not get as much disjoint on that button as they would have wanted. Can still get 6 speed out of it at a lot of ranges.
Oh no!
Unfortunate.
The reversal super, a potent tool against safe jumps. And especially a character like Faust who does have a lot of safe jump setups, that super is gonna be a problem probably for Raidknackarn. Oh, it's been such a long, or such a short while, and Diibu already running away with 3-game lead. That's kind of what I was saying. If you can't match the speed of this guy, they're gonna play very fast, and you're gonna lose runs extremely fast. Ooh.
Solid 5K. Yeah, one of the most improved buttons with that for Faust. 5K has been made. The hits crouching targets, I think, is a lot better on the aerial coverage as well. It's just a nicer button now. And we saw Raidknackarn making the most out of it. Now, unfortunately, breaking right away with mix and not being able to get the super into the wall break, which would have resulted in a kill. And now Diibu actually getting a solid conversion, forcing a burst out of Raidknackarn.
That was so good for Diibu. Managed to make Raidknackarn burst. Even if Raidknackarn still gets it, yeah, this is a big win. Diibu, yeah. That was like the best they could have gotten out of that situation a lot of the time.
And now they're about to have burst again if they put on the defense for a little bit. So now playing quite the aggressive game here. Just gaining tension, getting stuffed out of a throw attempt.
Oh wow, the 5B, sorry, the 2B into 6 heavy, finding the frame trap. Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh. I respect the gold burst attempt, but that was unfortunate.
Oh, go slow! That that's a perfect choice of button for Diibu. Raidknackarn comes in with the high-profile button. Another 6P, securing the corner position now, plus frames. Raidknackarn is in trouble. Diibu building a 50-meter.
Going for the approach, actually getting the grab off, maintaining more and more pressure, still going for chin, getting that plus frames, forcing the burst out of Raidknackarn, who now is in a massive health deficit. And Diibu is going to take the trumpet, force Raidknackarn to respect it, jumps in the air, tries to throw the head, but Cole anti-airs. Such a good button. Well, especially in this matchup against someone like Faust who's trying to just kind of jump backwards and do air stuff. Having a button that just chases after in the air like that can be quite solid.
Alright, burst immediately used. Ooh, a rare fishing pole hits. That's a nice start for Raidknackarn, but I feel like if you're gonna gamble against Anji and especially Diibu, it's not gonna work out in the long run. As Raidknackarn, as Faust here, you'll have to find some sort of, steady solution, some sort of stable game plan.
This is going to be a solid conversion. Yeah, look at that damage. That's very respectable. Raidknackarn very close to that. It's played very carefully. The 6B beating out the fishing pole.
I wonder if that's a reaction or just something that Diibu has been doing on as a preemptive read, but it's been working out pretty well so far. Even standing up for the fast overhead.
Diibu's just on point. Definitely has studied the matchup enough to know these kinds of gaps, know these faults in the Faust moves and how to abuse them. Someone definitely did their homework, even flashing.
Yeah, look at that. It's gonna be a reaction.
And that's on reaction. That's so good.
I think Diibu hasn't missed a single. I mean, they just got hit by the Rerere or whatever that thing is called in Strive, the fishing pole once, but other than that, it's just straight 6Ps all the way through.
Their worst scenario has been the one time that they actually traded, and it wasn't even just a raw head. Oh, see, solid 6B. This Anji 6B, this is the most work I've seen it do in a set. Actually, comboing off of Shin now, getting a nice little positional advantage to work from. Now Diibu trying to put in, bursting aggressively.
Yes, super aggressive in. Just wants to keep Raidknackarn in the corner, and why not in this position? They've been able to...
Really solid backdash.
Wait a second.
Now we're gonna go coast to coast. Getting an item, getting the little guy. Oh yeah. RC, and now this is gonna go far. Oh no.
Oh, this could be position. This could be a steal. Another throw. Wow!
Oh, the tragedy. Raidknackarn had what was needed to potentially get the round win there, but it just didn't work out. I think that genuinely could have just been a drop. I think Raidknackarn had the opportunity to go farther with the combo. A solid 6B. 3 bombs?
That's a lot of bombs.
Another bomb? Yeah, I think Diibu counted 2 out of 3 bombs, but that, it's just a bit ridiculous to go for more. And actually, I just noticed it's been going so fast, I actually failed to acknowledge the fact that this is actually set point for Diibu. So Raidknackarn needs to give it their all to just not lose here and now. Diibu getting the air throw into the corner, putting up more pressure for Raidknackarn. Unfortunately, whiffs the 6P and gets grabbed for the set.
It feels like that's kind of Faust life there. Standing up for the overhead, gets the punish. The punish is standing jabs, nothing else. And Diibu even gets to keep their pressure and the position after that. Well, sometimes it do be... I feel like Diibu's just a very tricky player to play against. If you're not ready for this kind of gameplay, fast Anji gameplay, even if you're kind of, on the same skill level, I feel like you can get demolished against Diibu fairly easily. I actually had the same. We played a longer set with Diibu and I got absolutely annihilated for the first part of the set because I wasn't just quite ready how they're gonna play.